definitely going to be the interesting thing is how quickly we find 9 tonight.
We got a southwest start to start here, and that's good. I mean, there's a lot of open caves here. You got a couple Armos here. It's probably the most inaccessible for an Armos start being down there, but there's quite a few open caves for them to look at.
Yeah, the open caves are definitely nice, and I do know that jkoper has a timer, so we'll get that on screen very shortly. But both of our runners finding a level, so they're taking similar paths early on, and going to be interesting to see what level this is.
Yeah, it's one of the vertical ones here, and you've got a vertical shoot room. Speaking of that, and that's a second quest room right there. You got the compass on the left-hand side. The second quest 2 room is what rolled into here. Not exactly sure what the level is yet. This might even actually just be second quest 2.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there is the possibility that second quest rooms can find their way into first quest dungeon. So we'll have to see if that is the case or what exactly is going on with these flags.
Yeah, that's the big key here is that you have got to identify, because we got mixed quests. What that means is that usually, your levels 1 through 6 is going to be either first quest or second quest, and then 7, 8, 9 or their inverse of that. It's going to be the other one of the two. So being able to identify dungeons early, we got 2 of them right here back to back, is going to be paramount. So they're not wasting bombs, they're not wasting it's the resources trying to get through a dungeon they shouldn't be in too early yet. It's going to be a little hard to identify right now. Yeah, we got some guesses. Quest 1, level 8 for Koper, maybe. We got a Quest 1, 6 as a guess. Yeah, we're not going to call it yet until we really know. Fred's had enough of it. He's going to up A and just get out of there. This does kind of match how I thought they would play it early on. Koper's more of a let's dive dungeons until the dungeon kicks me out type of person. Fred will dive a little bit, but he really, prioritizes getting that sword, getting some overworld knowledge, finding the Armos item. So it didn't surprise me to see Koper stick his nose into that dungeon a little longer than Fred did.
Yeah, and I know the other thing with Fred is he knows that in these overworld open caves that he can actually find a lot of other information as well. Potentially where a viable candle is going to be, whether it's through money or whether it's picking one out of the gift shop or anything like that. So he definitely favors them, and also he favors trying to approach Armo statues as quick as possible to get that free item.
Yeah, it's a good strat. I mean, if the game is going to give you one, you might as well go get it, right? And if it's like a red ring, red candle, wand, something like that, that can, definitely help you start digging, white sword even or something, it's just such a good play to prioritize that Armos early, so I like that.
Yeah, white sword under Armos is actually a great item because it also does give you the option of grabbing that blue candle as soon as you find the sword. So there is a lot of benefits if you do happen to find the Armos statue. I think jkoper is working his way up towards the Grave Armos to check that one out. So we'll see if either of them has it, or if it's going to be over in the forest where Fred is.
Yeah, I like it because Koper's going to have the left 2 Armos here. So once he gets over to the east side, he's going to he's going to have an Armos item waiting for him. He's already found 3 dungeons. He's got some dungeon knowledge. He just needs to really find 9, find the sword, and see what the Armos item is to get his seed rolling. So Koper's got a pretty good start here. I mean, Fred's not behind or anything like that, but I do like checking this Northwest Armos while you're here.
Yeah, and something else interesting to note is if you've been playing attention to a lot of these the bracket races and even the Swiss races, you would know that the old men would say the same thing over and over and over until you get the book. Well, in the Elite 8 flags, that is no longer a thing. We are actually in instance where, Koper finds his sword, but the old men can actually deceive you and tell you a hint that actually is not true, and it's up to the players how they take that information, whether they elect to believe it or just treat it as a regular community hint.
Yeah, what's your take on that? I mean, if you get deceptive hints and you start seeing a couple of these, are you more likely to listen to them, or what do you think about deceptive?
I use them as loose information. So if I get a hint saying something like a feat of strength will lead to the recorder, and I'm starting to run out of possible spots for an item, or for a level, I should say, then I kind of lean on the side of, okay, that hint meant something, so I'll start prioritizing some of the power bracelet locations and stuff like that. But I won't take them to heart and immediately go diving for specific things, just in case, it is a lie.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of I put them in the back of my mind and think about them, just for a little bit, but I don't really act on them until, like you said, either late in the seed or you're a 50-50 chance for something. Then I'll act on maybe a hint or something. But until then, I don't really prioritize it at all.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier, before we started the race, about the plus or minus 4 enemy HP. And well, this is one of the worst enemies to roll up. We got 4 HP keys, which is just going to be very annoying in these rooms.
Yeah, nothing makes me more sad than seeing 4 HP keys, just because you're going to have to deal with a bunch of them usually in a level. It's not going to be a room of like 4 of those guys. It's 8 or 6 or that type of thing. So unfortunately, you got the 4 HP keys to deal with here.
Now, Fred did check this second armmost over here in the eastern side of Hyrule, and it is just a cave, so luckily no money to have taken away, so he is immediately going to beeline for this last one, because he's assuming it's a 1 in 2 chance, so it is going to be our item, and we have the wand, so actually an excellent find for Fred.
Yeah, when you're swordless, this is exactly why you go find that Armos item ASAP. jkoper's in second quest 6. I've kind of narrowed that down based on seeing these rooms here. But Fred now with the wand, he's going to want to find this sword, but who cares? He's got the wand. He's ready to roll. He can kill pretty much anything in the game. Wizrobes are going to be a problem still, but he can clear out quite a bit of dungeons, and he's got, actually an offensive advantage on Koper right now because he prioritized that. I don't think it's going to take long for Koper to go pick that wand up, but that's exactly why you go chase down that Armos item ASAP.
Yeah, and it looks like Koper is immediately heading to prioritize finding this Armos item. Since he has already checked most of them, why not just check the last 2? He has bombs, and we see the raft there on the coast, so that's something that our runners won't prioritize, even if they have the ladder, until they get most of their other, most of the overworld cleared off. Koper does pick up his wand, so pretty much on par with Fred now.
Yeah, for sure. The last thing these guys need, the last piece right now, is going to be finding a candle, just because they're in the southwest. That's where they started. They found all their other stuff in the forest. So walking past all these screens of burnable bushes without that candle is kind of a kick in the pants. You don't want that right now. You have to go back and backtrack. So they're going to be prioritizing trying to find this candle so that they don't have to go back over these screens later.
Absolutely. And we see our first part of the mixed quest overworld. A lot of it has seemed very first quest so far, except that one area that Fred just bombed. That is not an area in second quest, and we see a 57 rupee candle there in the southwest. So with that in the back of his mind, Fred may elect to go ahead and grab a heart out of one of the gift shops if he comes across it, if he is close in rupees.
Yeah, you get so much money in the mixed quest overworlds just because you're going to have 3 of those big ones now instead of 1 that they're used to in the bracket stages. Having 3 is just going to open up all of your resource options again. You can buy arrows if you want to. You can buy the bait. You can buy pretty much anything with 3 large secrets unless they roll super low. Koper is going to pick up a candle, though, right here.
Yeah, actually a really good pickup there for Koper because, well, first of all, we know that he did not actually see Candle Shop, but secondly, that actually allows him to stay over here in the eastern side of Hyrule, which is quite a walk from where they're starting, and do a lot of exploration through the forest.
Yeah, absolutely right. Like I said, you just don't want to backtrack in the overworld. Backtracking just takes you so much time. And when you're, down in these last few matches where everybody that you play is going to be pretty good, we're talking about Fred right here, the creator of the game, you can't waste time. You can't waste time going back across screens. So that was a very important pickup for him there.
Yeah, and we do have Fred trying to figure out where he needs to go in that level, and is just going to abandon it for now. May elect just to do a little more navigating up here in the grave area.
Yeah, with 3 on top, I mean, that could have been Second Quest 5. It could have been First Quest 7. I didn't see much more than just those 3 rooms on top. But Second Quest 5 was kind of sticking out in my head when I saw it first.
I would say probably Second Quest 5, only because if it is First Quest 7, it wouldn't have the walkthrough wall like it did, because the walls actually do not transition between First and Second Quest. It is only the rooms.
Yep, I didn't see the walkthrough wall, so yeah, you're exactly right. So we've got it down to either 5 or maybe Second Quest 4, but I think 4 was near the Armos, so I think that has to be 5.
Yeah, pretty much with these blank screens, anytime you enter on any of the edges of the map, it could always be Second Quest 4, so, I mean, that's always in play, I guess.
Exactly right. Coper's going back to a known dungeon here. It's that Second Quest 6. Second Quest 6 has, a couple stairways. He's going to have the item there. He hasn't found the compass here either, so he's got quite a bit of work to do in 6. But I do like going back to a dungeon that he does have some known information on.
Yeah, and Fred did pick up his sword, so he will at least have that additional combat as well. I expect both of our runners to really favor the one, though, just because of it being double the attack, and we haven't really come across Wizrobes. We haven't seen him on the overworld, which is nice, and Coper does get his first Triforce.
It was a nice quick Triforce. It's going to be interesting to see if he dips back in. It is confirmed there that is 6 for us, so we'll see what he does. I bet he's going to go back just because he has no items whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, 6 is not a bad dig, so he's going to go back in and see what's up here.
No, actually, level 6 is one of those dungeons that you actually prefer the second, at least me personally, I prefer the second quest over the first quest just because it's not nearly as linear. So there's a lot more exploration possibilities in level 6 without running into a nasty block without, say, the ladder.
Yeah, he knows that just the handle there, right, had that ladder block on the right side. So he's got the meat of this level, and this could be right here, his room. But yeah, you're exactly right. There's really no block because it opens up quite a bit kind of in the middle of the body of that 6.
Fortunately, nothing from that room, so he looks like he's just gonna, use a bomb and be able to progress a little bit further. And well, here's a staircase.
Now, what he really wants to see this happen is be the other side of that handle over there. It's not going to. It's going to be just below. So he can't get to the handle. He's still got quite a few rooms he can explore here, though. But what I like to see when I'm blocked is that staircase take me to the other side of it. This here is a possibility, too. He's got the bombs to kill us to Dongo. Let's see if this gives him any results here.
Yeah, the big thing is always remembering to check every single one of these rooms. And it looks like this is going to be our item, and it is the recorder, which is actually really nice to have in a mixed quest overworld.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like you said before, kind of the minor items, if you will, the power bracelet, the recorder, the raft, those get a little more important when you start looking at mixed quest overworld. So being able to pick that up as your first item, 1, lets you grab Triforces and come back later. You can take a little more risk inside dungeons because the whistle will get you back to those. But 2, most importantly, like you said, it's going to open up some of these spots, the desert and those types of things that he can just fly through on his way in and not have to come back later. I do see Fred checking out the Forgotten Spot, and I think he took the anti-roads here. I'm not sure. I did not see those. Were the anti-roads any good for us?
I would say great. There is a little bit of benefit just because it does get you to 2 separate parts of Hyrule, but a few of them were layered right on top of each other, so they aren't going to be extremely beneficial. I think with where we've seen levels so far, actually the recorder is going to be a lot more beneficial on Coper's side than those anti-roads will be. And Fred is going to pick up his candle through purchase, so both of our runners pretty much with the same stuff, except Coper having the recorder and the Triforce out of level 6.
Coper with another level over here, and this has to be Second Quest 3. This is the bottom of the L, has the silvers for him on the ground, 1 room in. He's going to be out of here. He's going to book it, and he'll come back to that Triforce if he needs it. But silvers in Second Quest 3, that was a fantastic find for Coper.
Absolutely, and the really nice thing is with the location of level 3, it's not too far from level 6, and having the recorder, you can immediately get back there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, to be able to whistle right back there. 3 is going to be super fast anyway. And because he entered from the bottom of 3, he's most likely going to have a bait block in there. So he's not going to want to go back there until he gets some bait anyway.
So, luckily for Fred, as we see a hint that may or may not be true about the book, luckily for Fred, he is in sort of the route right now that he is eventually going to go back over to the forest to burn that with the candle, and that should lead him back up towards the Lost Hills. So he will eventually get up to level 3, I would imagine. So I don't think silvers are going to be one of those items that really has Fred searching for a while. It looks like it may be the bow in this seed, even though we're only 15 minutes in.
Yeah, that's kind of like you said, it was one of the natural routing places that Fred's going to go eventually. Might take him a while, but he's definitely going to go there. It's not going to be too much trouble. It's not like under a power bracelet spot or something. It's a natural routing for him. So just a matter of time before he finds it. But we do see the whistle. The recorder is going to be hiding one of the levels in the Southwest Desert. This could be a huge find for Koper.
Absolutely, and a very early compass in here, as well as possibly a very early item, so might be a nice level depending on where we end up.
I'm not sure, depending on where he started. I didn't see exactly what screen it was. This could be First Quest 8, I believe.
Well, staircase definitely doesn't help us because, well, any of the levels could have a staircase, but it does look like it has the feelings of level 8.
Yeah, just kind of that natural flow, right?
Koper doing a good job of using the Dodongos to refill his bombs.
It's got me second guessing. It looked like a Z there. This could be 5 right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to try to figure out which dungeons you're in, because a lot of them share some similarities in like where you may end up in a certain part and what parts of the mini map they consume. So it's just as much fun for us to figure out as it is for the runners.
Yeah, the important thing for him to identify, though, is Second Quest 4 and First Quest 8, because it's going to have 2 items. You don't want to leave a dungeon without knowing exactly where you are, because you might miss one of them. So picking up a Triforce, taking a peek at your Triforce map and saying, okay, this is where I'm at. Let's go back in and dig now.
Yeah, that's usually the biggest benefit unless you have that book. And that was level 5.
Yep, that was 5. So when you see the Triforce there, he's got 4 lit up. And it's important to know that when you've got the mixed quest and you've got the second quest dungeons on, that 4 and 5 are going to be flipped. So even though the 4 Triforce shard was lit up there, that was second quest 5 for him, which means that that level in the grave was not 5. So we have to go back and identify that one again.
So it looks like Koper is going to be doing his burning of the force as well. So him and Fred on the similar path here. Trying to find more information. Magical Sword there at Vanilla First Quest level 8. I doubt we'll see either runner eventually come back for that unless hearts start becoming plentiful.
Yeah, completely agree for sure. What they're doing right now, the fact that they're both kind of in the overworld, even though they have known dungeons, means they're both prioritizing finding 9. They want that info of how many Triforce pieces that they need. They both know they need the silvers and the bow. Fred needs both pieces. jkoper still needs the bow. He's got dungeons he could go back to, but the fact that he's looking for more information tells me he's really prioritizing 9 right now.
Yeah, and definitely the right thing to do, not knowing the Triforce count, because if Koper happens to find level 9 and it is only a 1 or 2 Triforce prerequisite, he can enter and maybe gamble on the bow being there at 9, which would make this actually an extremely fast seed. So definitely not an issue for him to sort of prioritize level 9 here.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing in the match against me, and he actually found 9 on a couple Triforces, and it was able to go in. I think he had 1 maybe at the time, and it worked out that way. If you have that advantage, it's so huge because now you can go into 9, and even though it's going to be first quest 9, and you're going to have to dig a little bit harder than second quest 9, you still get that info before your opponent does, and he might be over Triforcing himself and pulling 4 or 5 Triforces, spending time in dungeons he doesn't need to. So jkoper strategy is tried and true, so we'll see if it pays off tonight for him.
Absolutely, and Fred collected quite a bit of rupees. We saw our large secret was 105, which is a little north of normal, but he found 2 large secrets and a medium secret, so he was definitely healthy in rupees. So he went ahead and purchased the blue ring while he was in the shop. You'll see a lot of runners do that because really the only other thing that rupees could definitely be used for would be perhaps bomb upgrade. You don't want to spend them on hints because you don't know if there's any valuable information in the hints, so you won't see many runners elect to buy them at all.
Yeah, especially if you're in like jkoper's position where you've already got the arrows and you know you don't have to make an arrow purchase, then even more so you want to do that because there's very little for you to spend your money on in the overworld.
So it does look like Fred is going to go ahead and maybe explore. I guess he's debating. But exploration here would be a good decision on his part because we did see what jkoper was able to get out of here, which is the recorder and a fairly easy Triforce. So not a bad decision for Fred to do a little exploration.
Yeah, I mean, he was in here once. He decided to bail because he didn't have a sword. He got the wand now and his sword, so he's back in. I think another reason that he's going to go ahead and dig through this, even though it's one of the bigger ones, he's going to identify it pretty quick, is because it's so far from where you start that if you die, the chance of you getting back to the northeast, it's going to take a while. So you might as well explore the ones that are furthest from home first, just in case that happens.
Right, and with the exploration that Fred has done so far, he has to really start considering diving some of these dungeons to find some of the items that he may potentially need, with the fact that he still needs bow and arrows, possibly ladder. Definitely wants to start examining some of these levels for those items.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of shocked jkoper hasn't kind of flipped the switch and started going towards dungeons he's seen, but he is hard committing, and I think actually having the recorder made him make that more conscious decision too. He could have been doing this from the start, but I think having that recorder and just opening up those spots is making him say, okay, I'm 9 or bust right now.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he'd have power bracelet, I would be all for this, just because having the recorder, you have so many different areas where you're not going to have to backtrack now because you have the ability. And
oh baby,
recorder is required. Level 9 under Recorder Lake.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I dig it. Let's see how many Triforces we need, but this was a great play by Koper.
Well, hey, we got a Pentaforce tournament.
You were out of brackets, man. Come on, dude.
Fred did find the staircase that will lead him down towards the recorder. He already seen the Triforce, so that won't be much of an issue for him to get back to. It is just a matter of getting to that recorder, which I believe was in the room south of that sea.
So little do we know that Fred's update today made all these seeds back to 5 Triforces. So we're going to have to go through and play the game his way anyway.
Until we start seeing like 2 or 3 seeds like that and everyone assumes it, and then you have one that's, you know, one Triforce.
That's exactly right. Well, the good thing for Koper right now, the positive thing for him is that he knows, okay, I need 5 of the 8, right? If he comes across a Triforce that's early in like First Quest 7, for example, he can go ahead and pull that Triforce and take off, or he can find an early item and say, nope, I'll go get the 5 Triforces somewhere else. He knows the exact number he needs. So just that knowledge, that info that he has is going to be very, very vital for him.
Absolutely. So Fred is going to continue digging for this item. He decided to up A back to the beginning. Bypassing the Triforce, we definitely see him prioritizing the item. The Triforce is nice because you do have the traps in that room that will remain as enemies. So there's no real concern that you're going to end up having to kill all those enemies again. So nice play to continue to skip them. And Cooper buys both meat and a key for exploration. And it looks like he's going to buy a second key.
Yep, I love this play. I do this exact same thing when I'm doing my practice seeds in the tournament with him. I prioritize buying keys just because you do not want to be key blocked. And now he knows he's 5/8, right? Which means that there could be a dungeon or two that he never gets into. If that dungeon has the any key, then you could be in trouble there. So buying those 2 keys is just very heads up on Cooper's part.
Absolutely. And Cooper finds another level while Fred picks up his recorder. He'll go back in for the Triforce, no doubt.
So this is 8 of our 9 dungeons here. We've only got 1 left. So let's see if we can identify quickly. Now this may be first quest.
This may potentially be could be first quest level 8, but I think he entered too low. I'm thinking this is maybe second quest level 1.
Yeah, this could be the E. That's exactly right. Of course, that's shifted over to the left a little bit more, I think. We'll see.
Yeah, I forget the placement of a lot of my second quest. Well, this map's going to tell us. Oh, no, it is.
You know what?
7.
Just get out. Just leave. No one wants to be here anyway.
So Cooper is going to torture RBG a little bit here for us while Fred is continuing his exploration, and he'll come across level 3 fairly soon.
This is exactly right. Even if you have the Triforce, look where that spot is. Unless you find a stair in the foyer of 7 that takes you 1 room over, you don't do this. Just get out.
And Cooper going to go ahead and kill the Stig Dogger because he is blocking the path, and killing him is the easiest way. So it also opens up the room to the south, so definitely not bad decision since you can kill him. And possible item room here, or possible staircase right near the Triforce like RPG ones.
Exactly right. Fred is in 3 now, so he's going to dig this out. He's just got to kill these 2 Lamolas. This is second quest 3. He's going to get this in bounce most likely. He could, though, look for a Triforce here just because it's such a small dungeon, so we'll see how he progresses.
Absolutely, and looks like he just used the trick, killed 1 Lamola, and is going to get his silver arrows, and he's going to explore a little bit more. So we will see how quickly he can find this Triforce. Well, the compass is going to definitely help.
Yeah, let's hope it's not over in like the other part. Okay, so now he's got to hope that there's no meat block in between him and this Triforce.
You were saying?
There's always 1 in 3, and that's why I like Cooper's play to bounce out before you had the meat, just because there's always 1 there. Unfortunately, it was exactly where we thought it was going to be, and Fred spent a key that he probably wants back right about now.
Yeah, at 1 key left, definitely would have been more beneficial to save it for later, but and accidentally gets picked up by his tornado, so probably not what he wanted to do there either.
That's happened to me when I'm like marking my map on what I got from a dungeon or something. You blow the whistle to look at a spot, and all of a sudden you're riding a tornado across the screen.
And look at that, vanilla white sword.
That's a beauty right there. White Sword's going to upgrade him his A button. So just because he has, he's got a 2 point of damage B button and a 2 point of damage A button, it basically does magical sword damage when he swings them together. So that's an upgrade for Cooper for sure. And this is our last dungeon. We found them all now.
Yeah, nice little ice blue here on Cooper's side. And definitely a smaller level, so that's also nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the Triforce. So what is this? I'm done guessing because I've been guessing wrong lately.
Yeah, this may be the one that I said earlier when it was actually level 7, so I'm probably wrong again.
All right. I mean, this one looks like first quest 8, but I've guessed that 5 times now, so...
Yeah, 8 is also a good consideration, considering where the bottoms were. Oh, well, this room actually eliminates 8, so
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
let's go with 1.
this is definitely 1. You're you're right before.
And I think Fred bought his meat because he's or no, he didn't return to 3. It's just the same color. So Fred is now going for. Did we figure out what level this was?
Yeah, I don't think we did. This was where's Fred right now on the world map?
I don't even remember.
These are fun, aren't they?
My mind is like 20 screens behind these players right now, so.
Yeah, if chat can help us out and hook us up where Fred is right now. I didn't see his entry point, so okay, he's in the desert. Yeah, this is 5 then.
That makes sense. So Cooper finally finds some of our Wizard friends, and well, the red ones are definitely healthy today because they don't even go down to single bomb. And well, there's our book, which we already knew that Old Man was lying about because, well, it was a white sword item. But that is basically going to give jkoper the maps to every single dungeon. So we don't have to guess anymore.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know if I like the pickup because Coper had so much level knowledge that I think he's good with where he was, and all it's going to do is add fire to the end of his wand. So I think it's kind of a downgrade for him. Now he might need some info on a couple of the levels that were near the starting Armos spots. So maybe he picked it up for that reason. But otherwise, I think that was kind of a downgrade for Coper because of how much info he had.
Yeah, he already knows that 1 through 6 is second quest, 7 through 9 is first quest. So he has that knowledge, which I think is really the critical knowledge in these flags. It's not really what the levels look like, because someone of jkoper stature or Fred stature, they're going to know where the layouts of the dungeons and everything. So yeah, I have to agree that that's probably a slight downgrade on jkoper's side. And we do see him in level 2 now.
Fred is trying to dig out the item here in 5. We did not see it from Coper's side. We saw Coper, I believe, yeah, he got the Triforce out of it and bounced. So this is going to be new info for us if Fred finds this item room.
Yeah, 5 is not a fun level to traverse. I mean, it's not the size of some of the other levels. I mean, it's still big, but it's more just annoying just because of the layout, and it bottlenecks so horribly in the middle there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's 2 staircases that you have to use too. There's 2 transports and your items. There's a total of 5. You've got one-way doors. A lot of times you'll get to the middle of it and it's like blocked in the middle because of those staircases. So 5, like you said, is just no fun to dig.
Fred does find another staircase here, and it is our item, and it is the right candle. So Coper is benefiting from not digging this out, so nothing hurting him there. So we'll have to see where these other important items happen to be.
Yeah, heads up play by Coper. I mean, it paid off for him this time, as it usually does. He's usually very instinctual about things, and not digging through 5, taking the Triforce and running until he found 9, and then going back and doing the sweep later is working out for him big time. He is now digging the item out of 2. There's not many rooms in 2. 2's usually, doesn't have any dead ends or anything like that, so it's a pretty easy dig. So he's prioritizing making this dig right now.
Yeah, possible that the item is in this 5 blue Dark Knot room, though. Dark Knots are never fun, but they seem to go down in just 1 sword swing, which is nice. Unfortunately, do not hold the item, though.
Yeah, you saw him using that double hit attack, so it was definitely lower than 4 hit points. So they rolled pretty low for him, and jkoper was showing off some very, very good Dark Knight combat there.
But it looks like the entrance to the right side of level 2 is going to be in the top of the level, not in the middle where he was trying to get over.
Yeah, it wasn't letting him over there. He's trying to get through. I think he's going to grab this Triforce, unless he has a way to go right from the Triforce room, but I don't think he does. Oh, he can blow a key.
And look at that.
And it's his transport. So he's not going to do that. He's going to go down to the leg here, try to save him some steps. But, man, there's another key. Now he's going to make a decision on what he wants to do with his resources.
Yeah, he could have elected to kill the geese there and head north that way, but it looks like he's just going to see potentially where this leads him. Well, same route. But you did notice one of the things that you mentioned about, oh my goodness, in Zelda's room. But the fire is actually slowing him down as well in some of these areas.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I don't like grabbing that. Now he's got to decide, okay, do I want to go all the way back to the top of 2, or do I want to spin this key for the bottom right-hand rune? I think he's going to blow the key.
Right, going ahead and picking up a red potion. I like this play with the second quest enemies on just because of those red bubbles. He's also up here in Death Mountain, so we know he will find his white sword fairly soon as well.
For sure. He's got a level 7 and levels 1 up here. I don't know if he's found them yet, but he should find them very soon.
Yeah, and jkoper is going to go ahead and pick up Triforce number 4. And then I imagine he'll head back in. He only has that one room at the very, very top of 2 to check. So, yeah, no doubt that he's going to go back in for that.
Yeah, so it makes me feel that level 4 is right above him. So I think this is going to be a good, very good 2 rooms for him to dig. He's never killed this guy yet. This could be, no, there's a key here. This is going to be a good 2 levels for him. Level 2 and level 4 of second quest is going to net him this item and then 2 items in 4. So he's going to get 3 items here in succession. And
well,
not need anything more than this because here's his bow. Jeez.
So I can't imagine that Cooper's going to do anything except beeline to level 9 now. The important things for Fred is, first of all, he has to make his way back to level 2 and 4. Well, level 2 primarily. And we're in level 8.
Yeah, this was 8. Okay, so this was the one that we weren't sure about just because of the layout when they first walked in. I think he's going to go just straight for the Triforce, and if he trips across an item room, so be it. It could be his ladder, which is needed maybe in 8, or in 9. But other than that, he's going to go Triforce and make 9 tell you that you need the ladder before he proceeds. Because this has to be exactly ladder for it to help him. I mean, any key could too, but I don't think he's going to be digging it, knowing that he's going against Fred, who's also very fast in this game.
Absolutely, and yeah, I can't imagine that he would be doing anything more than just trying to hunt out the Triforce. It's one of those things, you see the staircase, you take the staircase, but he'll know, like, hey, if there's a staircase, it's definitely an item. But, like, a room like this, where it could potentially be a staircase, no point in clearing that out. Just go ahead and try to get through the dungeon as quick as possible to get this Triforce.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coper's the kind that he doesn't care about a ladder. Like, he's going to make the game, like we talked about, send him somewhere else before he's, forced to go digging for that. He's just a very good low percent, very good swordless player, very good at traversing dungeons and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if we just took this Triforce and bounced. And we do see Fred in 7. So the only thing that could save Fred here is if he digs through this 7 and it is ladder and we have a ladder block in 9, that's probably the only thing that this time commitment to 7 could really help him out. Because otherwise, he's just going to spend too much time in here looking for this item.
Well, we see one of our items in 8, and it is just the magical boomerang. No point in picking that up. So he's going to continue on to try to find this Triforce. Something to note, though, our runners really haven't ran into any horrible boss fights so far. I mean, we've had a bunch of the dongos at Dig Dogger, and that's about it.
Yeah, no four-headed Gleox, nothing like that. Not a Goma that's been blocking the path. You're right. There's been no real resistance inside the levels.
In fact, have we even seen that enemy? I mean, that boss group, or has it all been the Aquamenus, the Dongo, Dig Dogger group?
Yeah, I think it's just been, like you said, the ones you just named off. So while these guys are digging these two levels out, let me catch everybody up if you just joined us here. The real things you need in this game right now are just the silvers and the bow. The bow's in 2, and the silvers were in 3. So Fred's not in either of those 2 levels, which is very important. We don't know the 2 items that are in 4. There's 2 because it's second quest 4. We don't know the item in 7 where Fred is now. And we don't know the second item in 8 that jkoper just got the last Triforce he needed from. And then there's always 9. So the outstanding items that could really help us are just kind of like the any key and the ladder. So those could be in 4, 7, or 9, or that second item in 8. Otherwise, Coper is going to have a huge lead here right now trying to find Ganon.
Yeah, level 6 had a recorder, and it is important because, well, obviously level 9 is recorder block, but fairly straightforward seed so far, especially for jkoper, who has really just made all the correct moves when it came to his routing. The decision to really search out and find level 9 was extremely beneficial for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having that knowledge. And I think he's going to start taking stairs. Nope. Looks like he's just looking for Ganon. He does not care about any further items. He's got 4 keys, so he's good to go there. I think he's just listening for the roar of Ganon, and he's just going to try to win it straight up right now.
Yeah, now while he is listening for the sound of Ganon, which will tell him that Ganon is in an adjacent room, he's also going to be looking for a door that doesn't open when he clears out all the enemies in a certain dungeon. And what that means is that Zelda is actually behind that door, and that door will immediately open after Ganon is defeated, and will open even if there are enemies in the room. So it's also good information to have. Now, there are some hints that the old man can give, but of course they are deceptive, so you sort of have to take them to heart, even though in level 9, I feel that you can sort of navigate your path to general directions just in case the old men aren't lying. That's typically the strategy I use, but there is still a possibility they are.
Yeah, my ears will perk up a little bit in 9 if the old men tell me something, he's in the southwest or she's in the northwest. If if everything's equal and I haven't, explored both of those areas yet, I'm not like double backing on myself, then I'll go ahead and listen to that, and I'm a little more apt to do that. But otherwise, I'm kind of just doing my general routing.
And we do actually hear Ganon on jkoper's side. That's why you saw him bombing left there. So Ganon is actually 3 down underneath his G in stage. Of course, with the randomizer, you can shuffle it from saying level to something else. So we do know the location of Ganon as Fred grabs his 3rd Triforce, the one out of level 1 here.
So Coper's going to have to take a stairway most likely now. He's going to jump in this first one just because he could not get to where he was trying to go, where Krim was telling you that he heard Ganon over there. So he's going to hope a stairway takes him. Fortunately, this one is not going to be the one he wants. And with 1 bomb, does he spin it on this wall? He decides yes.
Yeah, nothing doing with that. No point in sitting there and trying to beat out the matchup, but he is going to stay in here. Hopefully, we'll try to get a bomb drop off of one of these red Wizrobes in here. They are the only enemy we've seen so far that has potential to drop, and of course, only having one way to go in this level has to leave and re-enter that first door as well.
Yeah, you can't use the door strat with the foyer here because the foyer door is going to close forever until you leave from a different way. So you've got to go like 2 screens if you want to do this. He was trying to get a global drop off that orange Wizrobe, and unfortunately was not able to do it.
Yeah, luckily the drop for him, I believe it was the clock, unless I am just totally misremembering stuff, but if it was the clock, that at least tells him where he is on his global counter, so he knows when to kill that red Wizrobe.
Yeah, and nobody knows the game better than these two right here that we're watching, so taking advantage of all those little small things like that they're not small, they're big-time strats, and then they're able to refill your resources without having to leave and go pick up another pack of bombs or something. It's just those little things save you so much time.
And jkoper did find another staircase. Unfortunately, it did not lead him much of anywhere, but it did give him the potential for more red Wizrobe kills. So we'll see if he gets any bomb drops here to help out his exploration.
Yeah, he's having no luck at all right now on the orange Wizrobe kills with the globals, and that is just a random thing. It's something that you've got to know which ones you can kill for it, but other than that, there's nothing you can do about this.
And Fred did find one of our other meat blocks. Of course, with second quest dungeons on, there is potential for more than one meat block. That one actually may be preventing him from getting to the item, possibly over in the chin of level 7.
And from what I'm seeing, unless he can find a bomb wall, he needs to go out and get some bombs or kill those oranges that are above this room, I think, to refill. But unless he finds a bomb wall, the only room that we saw that he could go north in was ladder blocked.
So if it is indeed a ladder block 9, prepare yourselves because this is going to be chaos. Fred is actually heading back towards level 4. So potential for 2 items in there. This could be a big payoff for him or maybe he's not heading there. Who knows? It's Fred.
Yeah, he's trying to decide. He's not found 9 yet, I don't think. So he's still exploring the overworld looking for 9, and he is going back into 4. This could be the play right now, because if this is ladder and the only way for Coper to advance is north through that room, then he's got a big chance here. I still think Coper's going to be able to blow a hole west, but we'll see. And just like that, Fred says, nope.
Yeah, and Coper is currently just doing the strat of killing the red wizrobes, seeing if he gets his drop, which he finally does here. And just continuing to rinse and repeat. He did not want to leave level 9 at all.
No, not at all. He's just it's like, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm not leaving this level, which is a little bit surprising because of how close it was to your start screen. But other than that, I think it's still the correct play here.
And Fred is going to make the play back into level 2 here, which is, well, we know the right choice. So we'll see how long it takes him to find his bow. Now remember, it is in that key block room at the very top of the level. So we'll see how long it takes him to actually choose to spend the key here.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. I'm seeing Coper right now beat his head against the wall, and I apologize because he's not getting bomb drops. He's not bombing the correct spots. Unbeknownst to him, I mean, you can't fault him for that, but he's just not finding the correct bomb hole. It may just be that one room there that you can go north in.
Yeah, and he's actually playing the percentages of what a level 9 in first quest normally would be. It's actually very unique to have a level 9 that does not have alternative paths to a majority of the dungeon. Now you may be ladder blocked from the single path to Zelda or whatever, but very rarely do you get blocked from most of the level by a ladder block.
This should spring him open because this looks like it's a staircase room. He's got 2 more rooms now that he can explore. I believe this goes around where he was blocked before, so this probably opens up the rest of the level. So fortunately for Coper, he's able to get past that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to dance around with this Patra a little bit. He does not have the blue ring like Fred does, so potentially dangerous situations when he is dealing with a lot of these enemies. Lionels, Patras, Wizrobes, all level 9. Definitely not what you want to deal with.
No, and for as easy as the combat was in the rest of the levels, this level's given him a little bit more of a challenge. It's got those Patras, it's got those Lionels firing from the middle where he can't get to him with the ladder. Your wand beam's going to get there, but you don't want to sit there and mess around while you just spent 5 minutes looking for bombs. So this is, unfortunately right now, Coper's got to just buck up and get it done.
Yeah, it does take an unfortunate death here. Now, luckily, he does know a path that, gives him a lot more possibilities on where to go. Also, probably keeping in mind where that he may need to find Zelda as well. So Fred is pretty much taking the same path as jkoper did through level 2 here as well. So he has enough keys to make it through. It's just a matter of how long it will take him to get back to that single room up at the north.
Yeah, this is totally like the logical routing of how you would do this. You explore both legs if you can. Explore the middle because it's so open. Like that very top room right there is just a bummer that it's up there.
Yeah, now the unfortunate thing for Fred is after he does collect the Triforce here, he will have enough to enter 9, but he has yet to find 9, so he doesn't know that he'll have enough, and given the location, it seems like it would be rather trivial for him to find level 9, but it may be one of the last places he checks because it is easy to forget about it there.
Yeah, exactly. You saw him using the whistle, so he was kind of prioritizing those before, but it's very easy to miss and keep routing. Like if he doesn't have done, all of Eastern Death Mountain or anything like that, he may go up there first, but we'll see. He's pretty instinctual as well, so he may sniff it out.
Yeah, now one other thing for jkoper is I don't remember if he actually picked up a potion, so he is going to have to be careful if he didn't, that he does retain his sword, because if he gets the Ganon without his sword, it doesn't matter if he has the bow and swords, he will not be able to kill Ganon.
Yeah, you do see him there potionless, so he doesn't even have the letter, he can't go buy one, so he'd have to find a take any. That's the only way jkoper's going to get a potion right now, so he does have to take way more caution in those red bubbles than usual.
Yeah, and Fred is back in level 2 now, so gonna pick up his key, and Koper finds the ladder, so everything coming up Koper in terms of routing this seed, so any potential blocks he could have had, he is over. But Fred gonna pick up his bow. He just has to find level 9 before Koper finds the correct path in 9.
Yeah, that's pretty huge, so he just has to find 9, like you said. Is he going to just kind of omit that spot and look elsewhere where you've got, more spots, next to each other, and there's 4 or 5 screens in a row that you can check? If you check the Northern Desert, have you checked, up in Eastern Death Mountain like we talked about? Does he have all of the desert or all of the forest done? So those are the things that he's worried about right now. Fred's looking for 9, but right now he's going away from it.
Yeah, now, rather interesting. I know Koper was a little low in health when he picked up that ladder, but he did decide to up an A back to the beginning. Now, normally this wouldn't be an issue because he now has a way around, but he's going to... Well, first of all, it did cause him a little time because that bomb wall did not work, but it's also going to eat up a few more of his resources to just try to get through as well.
We see Fred actually going into First Quest 8, so because he has not found 9, he doesn't know that 5 Triforces are it for him, so he has no idea right now. He's sitting here thinking, okay, I haven't done 8 yet, let's go back to what I thought was 8, find these 2 items in here, maybe grab the Triforce if I have to, but I haven't found like the ladder or anything, or I haven't found Power Bracelet, which maybe, used to find 9. Let's take a peek and see if I can find something to help.
Yeah, and at this point, if he potentially forgot about First Quest level 7 on the overworld, he may be looking for Power Bracelet, believing that's his entrance into level 9.
Yeah, you've got to think he's digging that out, or that's on the top of his mind is maybe it's Power Bracelet, and if I happen to stumble across the ladder or the Any key, then so be it right now, but let's go ahead and look through a known level before I keep digging.
And it does, or okay, so where Koper thought Ganon was, he is not. It looks like he is actually under the E column, the second row from there. So looks like he will be able to make his way there, but not where we originally thought it was.
No, he's got to be close. He doesn't want to use this key if he can avoid it, but he's already been to the room on the right, so he might as well just go ahead and pop it. I mean, he may go to the left and see if he can go around, but yeah, he's going to go ahead and do it, because if Ganon's to the right here, but oh my gosh, Ganon is, and he needs a key.
And he does not get the drop from this room. Oh my goodness. Now, Koper does have enough money if he chooses to leave level 9 and go buy a key. He does have the money for that.
Yeah, I think we had a key shop that was like $80 very close. So if he's marked that on his map and he has a good recall of that, he knows he's 1 key away from Ganon at least. Who knows how far away he is from Zelda. What he's doing right now, instead of trying to find that key, is 1, he could clear rooms looking for a key, of course. The second thing is he could look for a stairway that takes him north of that room, which could actually get him back to it. So he's looking right now, before he leaves 9, that there's no other alternative way to get in there.
And I believe the second item in 9 is still at large too, so he could also be potentially looking for this second item and hoping that's the any key.
Yeah, if this was the any key right here, that would just be absolutely big time for him.
Especially because these are 2 more key doors, so more rooms that he potentially cannot progress into.
Yeah, this could take him north of the E, though. Let's see on that column. No, unfortunately, it takes him just a couple screens to the right, so he's almost out of places right now. I mean, no keys. He's got to find one or go leave. So his decision right now is going to be critical because he's giving Fred time to catch up.
Yeah, Fred picks up his 6th Triforce. We know at this moment any additional Triforces for him are unnecessary. And jkoper does leave level 9. It looks like he's going to recorder to a level where he knows key shop may be nearby.
Yeah, you can see him making a beeline. So he's got one marked and he's aggressively pursuing it. Otherwise, he's just going like the 6. No, he's whistling somewhere. So maybe there's a level that he didn't explore too much of. He can grab a couple keys in. He's whistling to 1, I believe, right now on Western Death Mountain.
Yeah, and there were definitely keys for sure up here. This is where he bought not only 2 of his keys, but also the bait earlier. So definitely knows where he wants to go. It's just a matter of getting there. And Fred is actually using up quite a few of his keys here in level 8. So really interesting. Hopefully able to pay off for him in finding the item here.
Yeah, he did go to a 65 key shop, so jkoper just had the money for 1. That may be all he needs because Zelda could be just to the north of Ganon where we saw that room there. So this could be all he needs. He's still in a lot of key pressure here, so he's got to hope that everything's connected past that. Whether there's a stair behind Ganon or it's Zelda herself, he really needs this key to pay off here. And one thing you'll notice is when you leave 9, all these enemies come back. Unless you defeat a minor boss, every enemy is going to be back. So everything that he cleared before, everything, all the dodging he's had to do and everything, he's got to do it all over again, which is why you really don't want to leave 9. But I do believe it was the correct call for him right there.
Yeah, at the point where he was, not a lot of exploration able to still be done. Definitely had to make the call to leave there. And Fred is actually running out of space here now. There was one room on the bottom part of the lion's head that he cannot get to because he is ladder blocked. So it will be interesting to see if that is actually the item in level 8.
Yeah, that'd be such a bummer to make the time commitment that he did in level 7 and 8 and come up empty-handed here. We didn't find that. We didn't find the second item in 8. So I mean, that can win or lose you races, and it's a judgment call you have to make. And some people prioritize full clearing the level. Some people are a little more adventurous, like jkoper is, which it looks like it's going to pay off more for jkoper this time. But it's just those little decisions in your strategy going into these races.
Yeah, and we just saw with Fred's map that indeed is the case. It is a ladder blocked item in level 8, and potential for Zelda after the Ganon kill here. Now it's going to take 7 or 8 hits here on Ganon, and jkoper does have him in a stun lock, so he is going to be able to make quick bacon out of Ganon, and I would imagine he is immediately going to check north here to see if it's Zelda, or actually goes right first.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that she's going to be very close by. jkoper's one of the best Ganon fighters in the world, so that fight did not surprise me one bit. Yeah, he was able to take him out so quickly, but I believe she's going to be very, very close by here in a second.
Yeah, jkoper having to spend the heart there to get back. Not really that big of a deal just because of where he's at, but looks like Fred is going to pretty much full clear everything. He is back in level 4 to do some exploration. Now they can take out this Goma, but it's going to be a little too late for Fred with jkoper only needing to find a path to Zelda.
I gotta think Fred's map is dry, and he just hasn't checked, First Quest 7. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, and here it is, one room up and one room to the left, and this is going to do it. So get your GGs out. jkoper is going to be our winner with an official SRL time of 59 minutes and 37 seconds as Fred finds the red ring.
Yeah, that is, like I said, it was pretty instinctual for him to check those. I mean, you're always going to check as soon as you kill Zelda, but it just, you had that feeling based on how that 9 was playing out. He had so many transport staircases that were still around that she was going to be very close by to where you killed Ganon, and there she was a couple rooms away. So GG jkoper made all the right plays, all the calls that were necessary this game, and everything worked out in his favor. So it was very well played by jkoper.
Absolutely. And with that, I will also make an announcement that immediately following a little bit of setup, and once Fred finishes his run as well, we will be treated to actually basically a scrounge match right afterwards between the victor here, jkoper, and Antlers.
Are we back to back? Are we live? Are we doing this?
Yeah. I believe that is indeed the
Let's go,
plan.
man. Heck yeah, let's go.
So we will go ahead. We will have a little bit of setup time, as well as we don't want to take anything away from Fred. We want to watch him be able to finish as well, because, well, not only is he the creator, he is an amazing runner, and he has put on quite the show here during this tournament. So definitely want to give him the respect he deserves to finish out the seed.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. We are trying to get jkoper in here, since we will have a little time, though, so we can interview him as well. So if you're just jumping in and you want to kind of say, okay, what happened here? How did jkoper beat Fred, where Fred's not even in 9 and that type of thing? What you saw was Fred really prioritized digging any dungeon that he found. He was trying to find 9. We're not sure if 9 just eluded him, as far as he didn't mark First Quest 7, or he just kind of overlooked it, and he's looking for Power Bracelet, thinking 9 is Power Bracelet block, or what, because the amount of time that he was in 7 and 8 and going back to Second Quest 4 to find items makes us think that he's looking for Power Bracelet. But and that happens, right? I mean, everybody's done that. We're not making that wild assumption. There's some validity to that for sure.
Absolutely. And we do also have jkoper in here with us, so good game. That key eluded you for a little bit, but good game nonetheless.
Yeah, thank you. It was very stressful. And of course, the most stressful moment might have been when that door locked me in with those whiz ropes, and I'm like, I just want to check that other door, please.
I was getting worried for you, because your globals were not dropping in 9 at all, jkoper.
Oh no, that was awful. That was
I was like
horrendous.
counting them. I'm like, man, that's like 6 or 7 that he's missed.
Oh man. Man. So I don't know the story of the race, but I pulled it up and I see that Fred is not in 9 and he doesn't have the ladder. So I don't know if he's been in there or what's going on with him. But yeah, that was crazy. I would have guessed that the key to me winning this might have been keys, but I see that he has 5 of them somehow. Like, because I bought 2, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have even bought the bait. I bought the bait in case I was going to go back into 3. And, you know, it could be you needed in 7 too, but that'd be unlikely. But maybe I should have bought 3 keys instead. Because second quest 1 through 6 and first quest 1 or 7 through 9 is the worst combination for keys. So that issue didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, Fred's actual hang-up right now is for some reason he has avoided First Quest level 7, the Recorder Lake. We don't know if it's because he believed he checked it already or if he's just forgetting about it, but he actually hasn't seen level 9 yet.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
And the other thing that you noted about possibly level 7 needing a bait, the bait, it does have a bait block in it, and it does look like the bait block's blocking the chin of the demon, so there's a possibility, crazy. Yeah, that the item's being bait blocked as well.
Huh. Yeah, I was really hesitant. I'm sure you had some awesome commentary from Redbird Grad on level 7 here. I was hesitant to go in there, but when I got Compass, just a few rooms, I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can grab the Triforce and see if I find the item along the way. But then once I took the death to those land mollusks, I should forget it, and it worked out a lot better that way. So
I think it was pretty heads up because you just had so much of the seed still ahead of you to just bail out a 7. You can go back to it. You knew where it was. You've got recorder at that point. I mean, it made sense for you to do what you did there.
yeah, though recorder wouldn't have helped me get back there until I found level 1 right next door, of course.
1 beside it. Yeah, for sure.
So that worked out pretty well.
I mean, it seems like, you know, every major decision you made as far as when to dig, when to look for dungeons. I mean, at the beginning, you kind of prioritized 9, and we saw that because you had some known dungeons you didn't go back to, and you're like, okay, we're trying to uncover 9. Everything that you did pretty much turned to gold here. It was just a very well routed, very well run seed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think the main reason I didn't really consider going back to the dungeons was none of them seemed like obvious places to go. Like, I wasn't even sure what half of them were, and they didn't seem really easy to navigate. So it definitely worked better putting those off until I had more resources, for sure. It wasn't that long until I got the book, and that obviously makes everything a ton easier, having to figure out where you are and where you're trying to go. So, man, I feel bad for Fred, though. That's a unfortunate way. And I also feel bad for, you guys and the people watching this race that you didn't get to see both of us try to navigate that 9, because it was pretty rough on me.
Yeah, you gave him a little window there when you were looking for the bombs, that when he grabbed that 5th Triforce, if he would have checked Recorder Lake right then, it would have really been a race. I mean, it would have been probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds finish, that type of thing. But he went straight into 8 after getting that 5th Triforce. I mean, he didn't know how many he needed, of course, because he hadn't found 9. But just the fact that he didn't go straight there meant that you had all the time in the world to finish 9.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he has Red Ring from somewhere, probably.
Yeah, you pulled that in 4 after the fact, like way after this was decided.
Okay. And not much else interesting that I didn't get, I guess. No any key, no potentially required items. So, I don't know. For me, it was, I was obviously nervous the whole time. I don't know why I enjoy this so much when every time during a race it's just, how do you, like, complete terror the whole time, basically? I don't know.
I can echo those sentiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very anxiety-inducing for sure.
Yeah. But it's still fun. So, but yeah, on the other side, I've forgotten to check a spot or mismark my map and things like that, and those things are obviously even more frustrating. And it's ladder blocked. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's ladder blocked east, isn't he? I mean, that bomb there pretty much might turn him away from 7, which is the best thing that could happen, but too little too late here.
He needs to leave 7 and go to 7 instead.
Exactly, right. Yeah, there's no way to get through, so we're ladder blocked here. There's probably like power bracelet or any key behind here, but either way, we think it's just a map mismark that's going to be the difference right now.
Yeah, at least he avenged me from those land mollusks.
True.
Appreciate that.
So double dipping here with antlers. What came about there? I mean, you're gonna take both of them on one night? Coper? Bueller?
Sorry, sometimes my thing doesn't work.
No, you're fine.
I should just turn off the push to talk. I don't feel like I need it that much. But anyway, I only have a couple days here where I can stream, where it's really convenient for me. And after that, I'll probably be going back to my parents. And I prefer, if I can, to not even set up my computer there until I move again. But that's the future is very uncertain. So I just want to get as many things in these couple days as I can, and then not have to worry about them for a while.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And I mean, chat was pretty stoked when they saw that. So good luck in that race as well. We'll let you go take a breather and kind of relax. We're going to follow Fred through the end of this, and I think we're going to have some setup time and stuff. But anything else you want to comment on here?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'll be ready to go pretty quick. Obviously, I'm used to doing races all night. Just need to get a little break to kind of rattle this one out of my head a little bit and get set for refocusing on the next one. But yeah, I'm glad that we get to do that. It's fun. All right, see you in a bit.
Yep, see you, Coper. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and as we were saying, definitely stay tuned. It will be following right here on Speed Gaming. So we will have both jkoper and Antlers going against each other in more wonderful Elite 8 flags. And we got a good commentary crew on that one too. So stay tuned for sure.
So chat earlier just asked, who's left in, what do the brackets look like? And we could throw the bracket thing down there if somebody wants to do that for me in chat. But basically, Saber is waiting for the winner of myself and Fury up in the Elite 8, the Final Four round. So that's the winner's bracket: Saber, Fury, and myself. And then down in the other bracket, let me see real quick. Looks like 8gen is waiting for the winner of the Antlers and jkoper match. jkoper just advanced against Fred. We saw this now. So jkoper and Antlers are going to play for the right to play against 8gen. And we still have Ice Blue and Jam Evil, who are playing tomorrow night. Winner plays RC Drone. And Chest Jerk and Breasticle are the other two in that side of the bracket as well. So not many left, not many Z1R races to catch up on and to watch. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty now, Krim.
Absolutely, and definitely been a fun tournament. As stressful as they can be at throughout running the thing, definitely been a joy to watch, to see all the runners, especially new runners. We've had our share of new to tournament runners who have done really good this tournament, so it's been a joy to see. And I know that others are working on having a mini style tournament, as well as, of course, the battle royales that you and Random Effect have started. So it's great to see the Z1R community grow as much as it has, especially over just the last year and a half. So it's been a lot of fun, and I know that even though he's still beating his head into his own creation right now, Fred's sentiments are the same, that he definitely appreciates all the support that he has gotten.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool to hop into Discord and see somebody new almost every other day now. Just say, hey, this is doing our thing. How do we do it? What flag should I start with? And it's just the community has grown by leaps and bounds, and everybody's willing to help everybody out. It's such a good, wholesome community to be a part of, and it's a lot of fun. And thank you and the rest of the admin team for putting this together, because you guys always host a great tournament, and no issues, anything like that, no drama, nothing that you see in a lot of other games and stuff. It's just good old-fashioned bunch of people getting around playing video games with people who like each other. It's great.
Definitely appreciated. So hopefully Fred does make his way back down to vanilla level 7. Now, I do know Fred personally. When he tracks, he actually does not track each of his spots on the overworld. He just writes on pen and paper where everything could possibly be, and I think you've realized it, because here he goes.
Yeah, he just got it. He is going to kick himself on this one for sure. He threw some fire in the lake just because he knows. Yeah,
so what's actually going to be really interesting here is to see how quickly Fred is able to make his way up to where Ganon is. Now, his resources are a lot healthier. 6 keys should be more than enough as long as he finds that bomb hole that he needs to get to the north. But definitely good with resources. So we'll see how quickly he is able to get up to where Ganon is located, or, well, in his case, Zelda is located.
Yeah, and he's going to explore pretty much the exact same path that you saw Cooper explore. It's the bomb hole he's looking for, Chad, is going to be on the right side, past a staircase. He's going to go north. That's going to be pretty much the only way you progress here. So Fred hears Ganon right now, but unfortunately we know he's not going to be able to get to him yet.
Yeah, going to do a lot of the same searching that Cooper did. Realize that this is the shoot room, so may potentially deduce that, hey, that's got to be my path to the north because, well, it's, you know, a shoot room, and shoot rooms always act like that. So
very well could. And Saver saying in chat, what if he grabs that ladder and goes right back to 7?
yeah, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately for Fred, once he finds that ladder, he knows level 7 won't have anything important.
Yeah, there's nothing in there for him. He's got the silver, he's got the bow. He's good to go. There's nothing in 7 for him. And the nice thing when you're in a level like that too, and you see you have a ladder block, you know the ladder can't be in there. So he could have wrote off 7, but unfortunately he was just kind of like triple confirming that he was not blocked in some other way and just wrote it down as a ladder block there.
Yeah, and there's a potential Fred will see the second item here in 9, depending on the route he takes and what staircases he sees. But the 3 items that we aren't going to see in this seed are the power bracelet, the heart container, and the Any key. So 2 of those are actually really good items to have, but we won't come across them at all.
I think it's heart container in here just as the last troll.
Especially because the old man who's robbing you is in here, and he takes heart.
He takes a heart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, Fred doing the correct thing here and clearing out this room. We know that this has a staircase that will, this will have a staircase, but it will sort of lead him to an area that will sort of tell him, okay, still need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I will. Chat, you can get with us here, but I will predict Fred's final time on this one to be 1:21:30. Shouldn't be too long after this.
Nah, he sees the ladder block there. See if he upbase, or no, he is going to go back and bomb up here, which is what he needs to do. Yeah, his path is actually going to be a little bit quicker than Cooper's was. So had he not forgotten about Recorder Lake, this might have been actually a really interesting seed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a natural bomb hole that I think even jkoper knew he just didn't have the bombs. It was just, you see the ladder block there and you're like, okay, I got to get north of that room. The only thing I can do is bomb north. I mean, it was one of those natural reactions to what you should do. Unfortunately, he just didn't have the resources to get it done. But yeah, it could have been very close. When I told Cooper is probably a 30-second, 45-second if Fred goes right into 7 with all the problems he was having. I mean, I think it really would have been.
Now, we do know from jkoper's path earlier that you weren't able to bomb there, but if you were, that would have been a really interesting way down to Ganon. Because I think you would have been able to go left and then down into Ganon's room, and then also know that Zelda's right there as well.
It's so interesting, too. They both up-aid there. I mean, they know where the ladder block is, so they want to go through that ladder block. But I just don't know if it's quicker just to go back down and around, but maybe not.
Yeah, Fred's going to run into the same unfortunate realization that up-aing was not actually the correct play because, well, the ladder block wasn't really a ladder block at all. the true deception in this seed.
Exactly. So this will be the final game for Fred. Fred is going to have his second loss here and knocked out. Unfortunate way to go. I mean, and just kind of losing track of a level like this, it's a bummer anytime, especially, you know, to such a high-powered player like Fred. But let's not take anything away from jkoper. I mean, I think even if Fred would have, you know, not had that, jkoper just played this seed very well, Krim.
Absolutely. jkoper did such a great job at it. It was actually very reminiscent of his match against you, where he just found a lot of stuff at the beginning, able to find 9 by actually actively seeking it out, and this time it definitely paid off for him, able to find both the bow and the silver arrows before entering 9. So, I mean, jkoper's routing's there, and it does sometimes just come down to luck, but really, at this stage in the tournament, luck does have to have some factor into it, because all the remaining runners are exceptional runners.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely that piece as well.
Like, I know I'm not in this tournament. Well, I haven't been in the tournament for a little while, but I know I could go up against any one of you and just get clobbered. Like, the winner's bracket, the remaining matches in that winner's bracket are all going to be exceptional, and I can't wait to see any of them, including yours. You've actually been one of my favorite ones to watch so far, so there is that.
I appreciate that. I don't know what I'm doing right or wrong, but I appreciate that. That makes me feel a little bit good. I've put so much work into this in the past few weeks. Anybody that's watched my stream that's all I've been doing, and almost to a detriment, just because I've just been like, what am I going to stream tonight? Oh, let's just stream another practice seed. Let's do another practice seed. I've just been doing them like crazy. And still, like you said, Rando's Rando. I mean, jkoper almost knocked me off. He was a bow away, you know, from beating me last seed. So anything can happen. I think you do have to put the work in, but man, these flags, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Fred goes right as well, but I doubt it will be very long before he makes his way to find the kidnapped, which happens to be Ganon in this case. But yep, able to bomb left there, so we'll see the shutter door open and make his way in. And Fred is going to finish with an official SRL time of 1:22:35 as he bombs Ganon as well. So we'll see if Fred wants to join RBG. I'll let you go ahead and do the interview for that, so I can get this next race set up.
Yeah, not a problem. And we are actually joined pretty quickly by Fred. Fred, sir. Vanilla 7. Vanilla 7.
Yep, one spot I completely neglected.
Yeah, we were this. I'll tell you what. If not for that, this was a 30-second race. Unfortunate for you that you kind of omitted it, like you said.
Yeah, it happens. It's sometimes just take the wrong turn at Albuquerque, and that's pretty much what happened there. Knew I should have taken the right turn.
Right. Well, I tell you what, like, it is kind of cool because if you watch this back, there was such a dichotomy of your guys' styles, because I think jkoper took more chances and he dipped out of dungeons that you were clearing more of, like level 7 and level 8 and those types of things, and he dipped out. And ultimately we found we needed a ladder that he was very fortunate was in 9, because if it was in a 7 or an 8 or something that you dug through, even level 4, second quest 4 that you went back to, you could have got right back into this, you know, even just now realizing where level 9 was. He got in there he had the knowledge pretty quickly of what he needed, but he jumped in without the ladder, and just fortunately enough, the ladder was in 9.
Well, it's a good it would have been a good gamble to make. I mean, you know, jkoper's an incredibly tough opponent, so, you know, take him. He knows he can take some of those gambles and, you know, have them pay off at times. And, you know, if I'd found 9, I might have made the same gamble. I'm not really sure if I would have done that or dug some of the other levels. So, it worked out great for him. So good for him. Good luck for him in the future, because this is an incredibly tough tournament. He's an incredibly tough competitor, and easily he could make a good run here, still in the bonus bracket.
Yeah, and Chester has a hard-hitting question here. He wants to know, why would you just not go straight at Albuquerque? Why do you make a turn at all?
You'd be surprised. Sometimes if you take that left, you go straight, you tend to, most of the time, I find myself end up in the dead woods. I get completely lost there, and then I'm in trouble.
I think jkoper did jump back in and join us.
Hey, Fred. Just wanted to offer my condolences again.
No worries. Congratulations. You played well. You were able to actually find level 9, and you're an incredible competitor, and I'm hoping to see you make a good run here in the next round. So best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. I wish you could have experienced it with me, because it was a lot more fun with fewer resources, I would say. I had to leave and buy a key at one point, and with no red rain, it was interesting.
Yeah, Coper's 9 was a little bit of a journey for him. He was bomb blocked initially, and then with all the orange wizards around, none of them were giving him bombs on any globals. Then he got all the way up to Ganon's room, and you had to use that key to the right to get into Ganon, and he didn't have a key. So he had to hunt for a key in 9, or the any key, couldn't find it. And then, unfortunately, just had to go out and buy one, and he knew where one was, and went to the overworld, grabbed a key, and came back. So
keys were a good price, so yeah. I was going to say, definitely is the strategy. I had it back in my mind if I needed to. It's part of the reason I up-A'd when I discovered that the bait block was not blocking, in fact, the power bracelet that I thought was blocking 9.
Yeah, I bought 3 keys total through the run, because I expected it to be an issue. And I thought that maybe that was a factor in me winning, but it really had nothing to do with it. It was just you're not checking one spot. And I know how that feels, so that's terrible. But hey,
I'm actually not that upset about it. Aside from those issues, played well and everything. So hopefully here going forward, as I said, you'll be doing well in the tourney, and hopefully in the next one I'll get to you in the finals and take you on again. Hopefully we'll give them another good race.
Oh yeah, you've had your the better of me in the past, so this is my first time, I think, on the good end in a tournament, as far as I can remember. But anyway, thanks for all you do, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, RBG, for the commentary, you and Krim, and thanks a lot to everyone out there, and we'll see you soon.
You got it, man. Yeah, GG's, Fred. Well, that does it. Krim is off, setting up another hype race for you guys. We have a back-to-back here. jkoper is going to get right back in the driver's seat, and he's going to go up against Antlers in the next step here in the bonus bracket. So we're moving right along in this tournament. There's not many left, but we're going to double-team this tonight. We're going to have some jkoper action back-to-back, which is going to be fantastic. Do have a pretty hyped team that's going to be joining you here in a second. I don't have the full roster here, but guarantee you're going to love it. jkoper Fred lived up to it. I mean, it was one unfortunate, level 7, vanilla level 7 spot that decided it. But before then, you saw exactly what we thought we were going to. I mean, this, like I said, was a 30-second race that was going to come down to the wire. So, jkoper and Fred, they everything we thought at the beginning of this race is exactly what we thought at the end of it, what we got at the end of it. So I am actually going to sign off. It was a pleasure, commentating this one with you guys. It's a pleasure, Krim. I know you're setting up for the next one to sit down with him. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for all you do. And they're going to host us for another one. So thanks for continuing doing what you're doing. So for the night, guys, I'm going to join this one, grab a bucket of popcorn for the next one. I'll be in chat with you guys. Sayonara. Peace out. And here comes the A-Team.